So I'm having a chat with Henry of Boston Manor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You're back at Slam Dunk.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's amazing. I don't know how many years we played this now, but it always feels like coming home a little bit. It's awesome.
Yeah, good. And you've been busy kind of being on the road because you released your new record last year. Tell us a little bit about that one first of all.
Well, the record or tour?
Record first, yeah.
Yeah, the tour came out in, I want to say October. It's a weird one because this is half of a record. So this is part A of a double album. So it's kind of like you throw yourself into a touring cycle, but it's not as long as a regular album cycle. So we're like in the studio now working on the next part of it. So it's strange because it doesn't feel like we've really gotten to do that much for it, but at the same time, if you were to try and, this is a really boring answer, I'm sorry, if you were to try and kind of treat it as if it's a regular album campaign, then you would kind of like run out of steam with it by the time, do you know what I mean? Sorry.
So considering that's part 1 of 2, how does part 2, the record that's coming soon, hopefully, how does that compare to the other one?
It's a bit of night and day. I mean, it's the concept is night and day, and so it does contrast it, but it kind of also lives in the same world as it. I was trying to say that sentence I just said in another interview for like 5 minutes and just fumbling my words so badly. I should have said that. Yeah, it definitely lives in the same world as it, but it's the kind of opposite in a lot of senses. So we tried to have a bit of fun with that creatively, and it's got its own kind of little sonic palette that's a bit different from Datura. But yeah, it's exciting. We're headed back into the studio next week to carry on. We've been in the studio a bunch this year already, so that's the goal, really.
So when do you want that album to be coming out? Later this year, or are we looking into next year?
It would
maybe?
be next year, yeah. I don't know when yet, but it won't be this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, this year's quite busy with touring side of things. Well, what have you done, and how's that been so far?
What have we done? We've been to Australia, which was amazing. It's the first time we've been there since the pandemic, with our friends in Movements. And then we came back and did a load of festivals in Europe and some headline shows, which was sick. And then we're headed back out to America in a couple months. Headed to Italy next week, that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, just, spots and stuff. It's a quiet year for us. We decided to take some time to work on the album because we used to do like years where we would tour for 8 months and make a record, and it was just kind of insane. So we decided to just kind of block out some time to write and record and not trying to kind of rush ourselves too much,
And what's the touring plan for the rest of this year? Because I'm sure people will want to see you playing live. Where can they?
Dude, they can't.
Why?
This is our last UK show this weekend for the rest of the year. So
intentional?
Yeah, well, we're just going to be in the studio a bunch, and then next year is going to be our year for touring all over the world. So if you want to see us, apart from the US, we've got some US dates coming up, but apart from the US, it'll be all next year. But every country that we've been to so far, you'll see us again next year. And some new ones as well.
So when you step foot into the studio with your demos, how does it then go from that demo to a finished track?
I don't know, mate. Just wizardry. You know what? As well, I've really tried to figure out the sort of the formula, and it just doesn't for us exist. It's different every time, but I think the main thing is, for us, we feel better, and I think we make better work when we've developed the songs as much as we can, and then we can only improve upon them. But a lot of people go in with nothing and just write it in the studio. We tried to do that, and I don't know, we were working on this tune, and then it ended up sounding like that song "Bonkers" by Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah.
And then it got to the end of the day, and we were like, "What are we doing? This is not working at all." So I think, for us, preparation is the key.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Well, Henry, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you too.
Thank you very much.